Guess what?
What, Pat?
It's time to put our money where our mouths are.
Ooh.
You know why?
Why, Pat?
We're a pro bass show, man. It's real. It's happening. It's something we have to come to. We got to step up. We recently interviewed Mike Henneberger, the author of Rock Bottom at the Renaissance, and on that program, we asked him who, Kenny Vasoli or Tyson Ritter, and he said, "Why not Mark Hoppus?" And I was like, "Man, we are a pro bass show because they're different animals." No, he was right to be confused, but. Yeah, on Twitter, very supportive. Bassists aren't afterthoughts, as the common Twitter joke may suggest. So we decided to do a mixtape draft featuring, well, let's set some ground rules down. Not just bass lines. This isn't just, because you mentioned feeling this, and lay down where we're coming from here.
Right, so it's not bass solos.
No.
And it's also...
Which are rare.
Very rare, yeah. The other qualifier is there are plenty of songs that have cool... bass guitar in it, but it's not the featured instrument of that song. For example, Feeling This, really cool bass line, but what you actually hear, what the main focus of that song is the octaves on the guitar. So we're trying to find songs that have a cool bass line that is the feature in that song.
Yes. Is this a bass line draft? Yes and no. Is it a draft involving songs that are known loosely by bass elements, more or less?
Give the bassist
arguments could be made. Showing the bassist some love. Kenny, Tyson, Mark, this is for you. And all the others I was going to mention, but we just ran out of time, so just kidding.
What is going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
And I'm Pat.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast.
You want to just dive in? You got some dice to roll? How do you feel right now? Are you okay?
I'm really tired, Pat.
Good.
But I'm
nothing
feeling
like
good.
Let's shake the earth underground to start a new revolution, dude. Pierce the Veil's haunting my life, by the way.
Can confirm. We've watched the music video how many times since you got here?
So I had no idea who they were, really, but like doing some research for the show, and we'll do the post show on like how it's consumed me. But I can't get King for a Day out of my head. It's been weeks, plural. Anyway, baseline draft. We have let's get the two notable honorable mentions out of the way that are out of the time frame, out of the time period.
Yeah.
There's a Green Day song that you popped into your head right away.
Oh yeah, Longview.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Every YouTube video you look up, that's the first pop punk bass line that comes.
Best pop punk bass line, Longview, is like number one. And it's interesting that going through the picks for this draft, most of what came to mind were songs that were like some of the first songs I ever learned how to play, because bass was more approachable and it seemed easier than guitar. One of the first songs I ever tried to learn how to play was Maxwell Murder.
Okay.
Just like
Maxwell Murder was every Erie scene. I don't know if it was everybody's scene was like this, but there was every band had that, like, as people were plugging in, the bassist might like take it for a spin to show the crowd before they officially start playing, like
do 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 do.
Yeah, yeah. And they would never go as well as he had hoped. He's like, let me shine real quick before the band starts playing and I become nobody real quick. And be like, oh yeah, let me just bust out Maxwell Murder. And they always flopped. And it was always not funny, but kind of like, I guess there's jokes for a reason about like bassists and drummers and guitarists and lead singers. There's all these like stereotypes and everything. What's the best version? Like, bassists who are lead singers is a common enough occurrence in pop punk where it's not always for sure just the dude hanging out by the drums, a nameless, faceless being.
Right. It feels rare and very exciting when you see, I don't know.
Is there a flea of 2000s pop punk?
The bassist Mickey of Stand Atlantic, he's been slapping the shit out of that thing lately. There was like,
good for Mickey.
So when I saw Stand Atlantic in Denver, they were just playing the new song. Is it Hate Me Sometimes that the slap is in? Oh God, it's gonna. Anyway, when he did the slap, I screamed as loud as I could, and he just like started laughing really hard. So on the second verse he did it, he like lunged the bass at me as he just like fucking thwacked it with his thumb, and then he like walked out and gave me his guitar pick after he did it, and I was just like, ah! And then we ended up eating pizza together, and we follow each other on Instagram now.
Nice. That's a good show experience. Remember shows?
And I met Bonnie. Oh my God.
Hi, Bonnie. Big fan of the show. Just kidding. She doesn't. Speaking of thwacks, when you strike a bass string, let's just get the bass. It's the bass episode. We're a pro bass show, everybody. You mentioned thwack.
Cannot possibly overstate
take it for a walk.
Yeah.
Scoot it, kaboot it. Cello. It's a bass. What are you thwacking? What are you slapping? What's your favorite when you first learned? I don't know. I just want to hear you say thwack again, but honestly, like, what are you looking for out of your favorite band's bassist?
Well, let me turn it back on you. I have nothing interesting. I play the Dunlop .88 millimeter picks. That's how I prefer to play my bass. I can't finger pick for shit.
It's weird because exactly is my answer. That's my answer.
Well, no. Okay,
I'm just kidding. I have no specific.
2 memories of bass guitar. First of all, we had a Squire. It was like a P-bass Squire that we had in our band, 400 par. Remember the name.
Oh my God.
You'll see it up in lights sometime.
Doing it every week. We're doing it every week.
And I don't know why, we had reflector tape in my garage.
The reflector tape bass was so obnoxious, and it was worse because I was so bad at it. Like it's like when somebody wears weird hair to a sporting event, an athlete, and they're like, you have to be good or else you're just a fool. So it's just like, wow, reflector tape bass. Like some people repaint their bass or pour paint over the head of the guitar, and it's something like that. But yeah, it was obnoxious for sure.
Well, the best part was like from the stage, it didn't look that crazy, but as soon as someone took a picture of us with their flash on, every picture of our band is just like
the bass and nothing else.
This pinpoint of like the brightest white light, and the whole photo was just blown out. Like you couldn't see anything except this point of pure white, and then like this massive halo just from your bass. And I do remember when you were on your way there, and Zach took a Sharpie and just wrote Rolex on the bass, and you were like so pissed about it. Like, why would he write Rolex on my bass?
Yeah.
And I was just 13. Like, isn't that a brand of bass? Like, no, it's a watch. You idiot.
It
just
was
like not knowing anything.
Because we had sanded the crate off because we were so ashamed that it was a crate.
Oh yeah, that's what.
So
it was.
It was a brandless bass that we had put reflected. I was like, this is at least something. It's it's a statement of some kind. And then he just took a Sharpie and wrote Rolex on it, which, if you're thinking about like the statement that's being made, which is like making junk into a different junk, it didn't even, I don't know, in my head I was like, artistically this is nonsense. It makes no sense. Compels me though. And it didn't even compel me. It was just like, of all words to neatly write on what we had just sanded clean and put tape on, it really infuriated me. And I wasn't even good at it. That's so he deserved to, because he wrote most of the songs and everything. But with our help. Anyway, the memory I have of that bass though was at practice you would lay it on the ground, sit on the couch, and play Smoke on the Water with your toes. And that was, you were like so proud of it. There's always awesome. Like when you're a teen, you just go about what your dad and like what culturally I guess is out there. So you're like, okay, Jimi Hendrix, people playing stuff with their teeth, like, exploring the instrument. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And it wasn't helpful to anybody.
Anyways, we've got some. See, we know bass guitar things.
We know, yeah. We have some.
We've got 2 memories.
Zach actually has the one that replaced the reflector bass still in his possession. It was a nice little Fender
beautiful
jazz bass.
Mexican jazz bass that had like it looks like someone took a tomahawk and there's a big gash in the back.
Oh yeah, we went from reflector tape crate sanded off with a guitar amp that was too small for the bass itself to the most expensive bass on the market and a beautiful Mexican jazz bass, and it all went to Zach. I think there might have been a 2-week crossover where everything was in place and we actually took advantage of the tools we had acquired. Right. Okay, so do you want to roll the dice? You want to roll the dice? Well, Longview's not in play. I think we just wanted to get that out of the way.
Okay.
Maxwell Murder, it not in play, not in the time frame, but When I Come Around comes to mind as well. A lot of early Green Day stuff. There might be some Green Day stuff taken today, but let's get into it. It's a draft. We're here. I don't think this one's going to be as contentious, but you never know. You know, tempers flare.
Tempers flaring from parents, just blow them off and keep going.
Whoa, dude.
As my old pal Marshall Mathers would say.
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
I've got some dice here, nondescript, nothing to write home about.
Really? No defining characteristics?
Nope. Do you want to pick evens? Why do I always let you pick? I'm picking odds.
Okay.
Taking back what's mine.
Sure.
Would I say odds?
Yes, you did.
Okay. It's a 9, 6 and a 3.
There you go.
So I get to go first.
Are you so Catholic that you're like, I guess I won, but only if it's okay with you? Or...
Is that okay, man?
What did I say? It's like, it's almost worse to make me say it's like, yes, you said odds.
No,
like,
I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, if it's all right with you, I think I won this game. You're so good, you broke the game. Is that good? No, you got it. You want to go first? You want second and third?
I'm going to go second and third.
Okay. I'll Possess Your Heart by Death Cab for Cutie.
Ooh.
Dum, 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 dum. We're going to sing every bass line.
Yep,
I'm just kidding. That was our fear coming in. We're like, we're going to forget what they sound like. This one is memorable. I've said this on the show before. The year I saw them in Pittsburgh, they were filming The Dark Knight in Pittsburgh, and they played the full album version of I'll Possess Your Heart, which I thought is easily the worst live move I've ever seen. They lost the crowd.
Did you say they opened with it? Or
yeah, 8 minutes of and it was like, like it was better for like a free what's that eerie event? 8 Great Tuesdays.
Oh yeah,
it might have been better if it was in the middle of like a free event where everyone's just like, yeah, woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I saw them for free one time and they played this thing, but they like paying crowd and Frightened Rabbit opened. And I think they lost the crowd, honestly, just objectively. I think that's how it went. And then they played the Batman theme right after. And I was like, this is...
What?
And then somebody screamed, play I'll Follow You Into the Dark. And they were like, I don't want to now, man. Like, they must have been in a mood because they were like, let's do everything wrong, too. But it was a fine show, whatever. Anyway, the most bass exposure of any song that's going to get picked today, I think it's 6 full minutes. Interrupted only by the occasional on the piano. So yeah, I think just from bass exposure alone, we got to select it.
Hey, who introduced you to this album?
Was it you?
Was it my ex Hannah? I think it was.
No,
right?
I don't. Death Cab for Cutie. I mean, she doesn't get the no.
Oh, she doesn't get okay. Well, when we started dating.
No,
this
actually,
album
honestly,
had just come
Mr.
out.
Taylor.
What?
Yeah, he used to, because Nick Taylor, his son, was in the band Falling Hollywood that used to play with Foreign Apart a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least those were the 2 bands at Academy that were in our circle of whatever. Yeah, and I think he was just like, yeah, I guess their new hit is like I'll Possess Your Heart or something like that. And it goes on for like 8 minutes. It's pretty wild. Because I think Nick probably would play him songs on the iPod and on the drive
way to school.
Yeah, so he would just like react to his children in AP Psych in the morning, and I'd be like, I am less cool than my psych teacher. He just informed me that Death Cab came out with a new record. And he was very taken aback, like, hey, I will possess your heart. It's something crazy like that. Or, I was just like, that sounds awesome. Like, Mr. Taylor, come on, man, come on. Actually, at the 10-year reunion, I don't think we needed to make peace, but we just chatted for a while. It was very pleasant. It was nice to see him. He was a student senate. He was the faculty advisor for that.
That impeached you?
Well... By rule, he had to, but I think I would blame others. I wouldn't say Taylor was at fault for any of that stuff. Yeah, no, he was chill about it. But yeah, he introduced me. I think now that you
interesting. Yeah, Hannah was like a huge Death Cab fan. I never actually before we started dating, she burned me 2 of their CDs, Transatlanticism and Plans.
Wow.
And then I think this album came out.
That feels like one of those gifts where it's like it would mean a lot to me if you took these in and absorbed.
Right. So I listened. It wasn't like. Not everything of theirs I fell in love with, but this album and like Bixby Canyon Bridge is like, we're not talking about the album, but very like, not to use the word reminiscent of that New Love kind of thing. So I Will Possess Your Heart. It's a strong opener. I like it. I'm glad.
Oh, as far as album openers, we only did fast paced ones really when we did the draft. But there's something to be said for like a welcome to a whole ass vibe. I ain't gotta stop saying that on the show, man. Okay, you get second and 3. You get to pull ahead if you play your cards right, and I'm very curious to see where you go.
Man overboard.
Okay, gauntlets are being thrown down here. It's heating up pretty quick. Talk to me. What's up?
So, I think if you actually like watch Mark play live, I guess
Is Mark better than people give him credit for, that he himself gives himself credit for?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he is. Like,
how many bassists in this genre explore the top 3, if not all 4 strings, while they're doing their thing?
If not all. You know, I feel bad because for as much as I say, like, I don't listen to the lyrics because I'm like really focused on like the music and individual parts, I always just kind of assume that the bass is playing the root note of whatever chord the guitarist is playing. But if you really listen, like, even if it's not all the time, the bassist usually throws, like, of any band in the genre, throws some kind of interesting flair in there. And even if they don't have, like, their own featured moment, I think most bassists who are, like, in a band on a record label is actually doing more work than people probably even notice in the record, certainly more than they get credit for. I think Hoppus is pretty fucking good, and he writes interesting stuff. Like, there's so much more than just playing the root note.
It's almost like a product of the 90s. We were doing some research for the show, and there's some ska bands and some 90s bands, and I guess notably for us, Green Day's, there's like,
yeah, Mike Dirnt
and Basket Case
is so good.
Just little shit like that, like
yeah.
knowing to go up the fret enough to add something to a tune. Like in our scene, at least, it was like the bassist, and maybe it's just small town, you can't find that many. Like Jake was our only friend who was Jake and Ian maybe.
Ian
so
Bauer.
There were
and Mike McCaslin.
Sure,
Mike was
So
crazy,
3 bands out of everyone we knew might have had an above average
like
bassist.
shredded.
Yes. Oh yeah. He had this thing. He self-diagnosed himself with acid finger.
Oh yeah,
because he would play so fast for so long, where it would like start to burn his fingers. He'd be like, "Yeah, it's like this thing with my sweat." I was like, "Is that an actual doctor thing?" I actually don't know, but I loved it. Acid fingers would be a great name for a band. I feel like
I do remember playing Mike's bass once, and he was like, "You're gonna want to wipe the strings beforehand. I got acid fingers, bro." I was like, "What are acid fingers?"
So he and Caleb, a gentleman in his grade, did I guess a talent show at Academy, and they had this throwaway act where Mike played funky bass, and the other guy had like spoken word rap stuff over it, and they called themselves the Number 2 Pencils, and I was so mad because I knew they weren't going to perform again, and they just had dibs through the whole school of what I thought was like the coolest. I was like, what the hell is this? Mike, you just whipped out the best thing anyone has ever done on this stage, and then they just disappeared. Mike played the funkiest shit ever, and Caleb rapped over it, and they were the Number 2 Pencils. And I honestly thought they could have opened for Gym Class Heroes or something. Like, just in that moment. I don't know if everyone else in the auditorium felt that way. I'm like, the Number 2 what? Mike's doing what? Caleb who? It was just amazing. Exactly. So it's kind of like when you see a good bassist, anyway, drawing back to the Hoppus thing, I don't know if he's a relic of the 90s where it's just like, I'm trying to do something with this other than be another deeper sound for what the rhythm guitar is doing to let other people do more. Him trying to do bass chords, even if they weren't working, like just trying shit and doing more.
Yeah, he did a lot of interesting stuff. He went up on the 3rd string a little bit. He played the chords. He was playing.
Is he a tactical genius? No. But does he deserve a little more credit? I think that's
absolutely. Yeah. People like to make fun about like Travis is the only like talented person in that band. They're all pretty good. Like maybe they didn't perform perfectly live. They're all pretty good at their instruments.
He was on the Jimmy Eat World podcast, and they were talking like songwriting's a skill that's very different than like being able to shred a guitar.
Yeah.
Because the tactical dudes often like are playing for not no one, but you know what I mean? It's just like there's something to be said for being able to write a hook and everything like that. And but it's interesting to hear those type of dudes be so self-conscious about, both of them admitted they're not very good at their instruments, or at least they feel that way. And they want to be tactical geniuses, but really they're in the 2 of the most successful bands of the decade, if not, maybe even ever in rock. So anyway, you got a 3rd round pick coming up.
Yeah.
Here.
Ooh.
I remember shots without a chaser, absent-minded thoughts. Now you're a stranger. Cover up your scars, put on your game face. Left you in the yard to try and save face. Left you in the barn. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm just wasting time until you make your next pick.
No, that's a classic one that I got to pick. You
picked that. Would you pick that or not now? Have we settled this?
I don't know.
Non-album, quote unquote singles.
I'd probably pick
Man Overboard.
Man
rocks,
Overboard.
Dude. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I figured you are a Not Now Tom apologist, because like such a Tom person that you would pick Not Now on principle.
But Man Overboard is so good.
Yes, indeed.
So good.
Indeed.
I'm not going to play the game very well here, but Look What Happened by Less Than Jake.
I think you're playing the game just fine.
Not only
Get up, dude.
One of my top 10 songs of all time.
Wait a minute.
Aussie oi, Aussie oi. Get up.
Get up.
No, look what happened. It's a song that like
Ozzy, goddamn you, but nice.
Whenever I do the dishes, which is mostly every night, the agreement, my wife will usually cook dinner, all clean. I always just like...
It's a scene in Fast and Furious 1. He's like, where I'm from, if you have to cook, you don't have to clean the dishes.
Hell yeah.
It's about family. It's about Corona.
We live by Fast and Furious rules in this house.
Which means you go a quarter mile at a time, bitch.
So I throw in my AirPods Pro, the most pretentious sound, whatever. And I'm just like, please don't talk to me. I hate doing dishes so much. I just want to like put on my records and vibe. And the other day I put on Look What Happened and I listened to it like the whole 20 minutes I was doing dishes, just like as loud as they would go. I fucking love this song. It's like it'll leave me for like a year and then it comes back and it's ding 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 ding. It's so good, and it's like, you know, there's lyrics
and
over
I
it.
Swear.
But it's, my god, don't even start.
Less Than Jake, criminally underrated by everyone, or appropriately rated by a very small amount of people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right? Probably. Yeah. No, I absolutely love this song, and
we got to pick up. Okay. It's going to heat up because there's only a few really good ones left, and I don't really have my glasses. So you keep talking because I need to think. Oh, I have my next pick. I'm not saying you have to finish up. I will say this. The Less Than Jake as a band, I feel like our buddies used to be in the neighborhood, used to be big into ska. They would go see them in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, sometimes all three on the same tour.
3 days in a row.
And it's like they almost like went out against late scene emo stuff with when the hair was too long and the flash was too much over the substance type stuff. Like we've been working on our craft for so long, and everyone who's hung on with us, you know, like, I don't know, kind of like people who are hardcore but always hate the people that find success through doing something slightly differently type thing. It's kind of an interesting, like, I guess Less Than Jake is probably as real as it gets, but you hope they're happy. They brought me a lot of joy.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy that I'm not a more like audible fan of theirs.
Say
like,
it now.
I fucking love Less Than Jake.
Say it. Say it again, Tom.
I love Less Than Jake.
Me too, bud. Me too.
That felt great. Thank you.
Yeah, I bet it did. It felt good for me. Okay. Give me Dance Dance Fall Out Boy. Let's just do say some things. Okay. Pete Wentz's moment to shine and his only moment to shine.
Too busy to lick his fingers on this song.
Too busy. It's actually, if you look close in the music video, and we'll do the music video someday, I'm sure, which is like a whole like FOB extended universe, because there's a different Infinity on High music video that connects where the people that dance are cardboard and shit. It's like, wow. But Patrick Stump, when he's in the Dance Dance video, actually licks his fingers a little bit when he's on stage. So there's like a little like, they're just like teens doing stuff and mimicking each other a little bit. But it's kind of funny to watch them. Really good hair hat combo for him there. But again, more on that to come at someday later. But yes, I would say could have gone first easily. I think recognizable. The action. That's the thing is, we did the 2005 draft. 2005 Madness tournament is going to come up at some point here. You're thinking about like, is Dance Dance the best song from Under the Court Tree? Is it widely overrated? But then like every time, does it matter when you hear those drums and the bass comes in? It's so simple. It's like, it's the type of song you hear and you want to write one that sounds just like it, but really you just are appreciating it. You're like, I can't recreate whatever this simple. It just comes in over the drums and it just rocks super hard. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've told the story of playing this song, but changing the lyrics to Jane Eyre in our like band class for, it would have been junior year English
Did you
class.
say Jane Eyre to the words Dance Dance?
Jane Eyre. I was playing drums. It was our friend Doug on vocals there. And, like downloading the demo version and finding out the day of the performance, I was playing the demo version. So I honestly don't. The song is weird for me. I like love it and I fucking hate it at the same time. There's something about it that's like a little off, but there's so many other redeeming parts. I'm not really sure what it is. But anyways, good bass line.
Crawling into bed with me in my attic where I sleep and I'll burn the house down someday. I don't even know if that's close. I think it's only I actually don't really have that good of a memory about it.
I just remember Rochester.
Enough about Charlotte Bronte. Back to regularly scheduled programming.
We are anti-Charlotte Bronte on this.
That book. I really didn't like it. It was just like, it's great. It's a classic piece of literature. So there's nothing more to say other than I'm glad.
No, let's keep talking about Jane Eyre. So,
I had to pause and be like, what am I actually saying here? Am I about to, on our show, just take minutes away from the programming to just, without any research or really context or knowledge on the subject at all I am going off of is I heard Tom sing it to the tune of Dance Dance one day. Rip a classic novel unwarranted when it has wronged me no times. So I'm going to miss myself with that shit and just keep going. I'm thinking, give me apologies to myself or everyone else. Okay, everyone around me. Okay, for everything always. All right. Sick Transit Gloria Glory Fades by Brand New. Tom, how did you leave these on the board? You went second and third. What's wrong with you, man?
This is one of the first things I ever learned to play on any kind of guitar in the basement on 32nd Street. While you were playing Smoke on the Water with Your Toes, I was playing this.
Yeah, we avoid Brand New a lot, so we don't have to spend much time on it.
The song is so good.
It's one of their best, and one of the best. This could have gone first, too. I think it maybe should have.
I keep wanting, the bass guitar is within reach, and I keep wanting to grab it to just like play unplugged into the microphone. It
sets a mood. It sets an attitude for the whole thing. It's it grabs. It's an attention grabbing bass line. Like Dance Dance is like, oh, you're gonna get up and shake that motherfucking thing. I don't know what that was. Sorry. But you know, you're like, you're in for. As soon as you hear it, you're kind of like absorbed by it, and I think it's powerful for sure. So back to you for two.
No, this is my 3 and 4.
For
right?
2 picks, yeah.
Okay. Damn, I was gonna pick Sick Transit Gloria.
We're only going to 5, so this is gonna be a tight one.
Another early memory of our band in playing music together. So before we were a band, I think I've told this story. I had a birthday party. It would have been probably 14 or it would have been my 13th birthday, 14th birthday. And I just brought my drum set out into the garage, and Zach must have brought his guitar and Adam did. And none of us like knew the same songs really, but we all knew the song Holiday by Green Day, or at least like the verses. I could play the doom, goom, doo, doom, goom. And yeah, before we were a band, our band played at least one verse of Holiday. I don't know, probably no one played bass.
At the time, it was one of those bass lines where, I don't know.
It was captivating.
Yeah, you're just like, ooh, I want to try to play. It was like people who were 10 years older than us had Long View, that we like clung to that as, it's kind of like people who like are 10 years older than us that have turned on Green Day wrongfully, and not all of them have, but it's kind of like, well, Holiday is what we had, so like that's what bassists of our era like tried to replicate in their basement every day. Because it's one of those walkie ones.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that... Huh?
That's your pick, I take it?
Yeah, Holiday.
Oh, sorry. Good pick.
What's interesting, though, is every song up to this point has been the intro is bass.
Yeah.
This takes the precedence like in the middle of the song with the representative from California has the floor as the bass is going. You get the little megaphone thing. So it kind of, gets its moment in the middle. So that's kind of fun. It's a nice little funky little, taking the dog out for a walk kind of thing. And it's nice. It's really nice. Mike Dirnt is like...
It's very similar.
So
maybe not as iconic as Longview, but I think he would be, of all the pop punk bands we talk about, you got to mention his name, probably more. Let's do it now.
Mike Dirnt.
Interesting.
Mike
of
Dirnt.
all the three... There you go. Done. No other words. No, between him and Trey, like, for the leads, Billy not being as good at Billy Joel Osmond? What the is that guy's name?
Joe Armstrong.
Too many names, man. Too many people. He, kind of notably not the biggest shredder soloer ever at all, self-admittedly, right?
Yeah.
But Trey and the bassist more than make up for it. Like, they bring a lot. I don't know who's better at their instrument necessarily out of those two, but a powerful little trio. If Armstrong is the heart, the other two guys are right there with them, making things happen.
Man, Green Day is so good.
This is the only take we've ever wanted to deliver. Green Day, Big fans. Okay. You get another one coming up. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like, it's not a bass line of the whole song, but yeah, in the middle there, it's a song known for the bass. This is where, but that's the thing. It's just like, is the dance, I don't know. Some of these are a little tough because it's like, some of these are just the intros to the songs. And you're like, oh, that's the bass track. But like, you go on Spotify and look up bass line playlists. It's all the same stuff. You look at YouTube videos of best pop punk bass lines and everything. The 90s had more interesting things maybe. But
yeah, way more going on.
A lot of these songs are the ones that are getting talked about. I think that's a good pickup. Not as good as mine earlier when you had the chance to when you picked 2 and 3, but I mean, like.
Hey everyone, want to jump in here for a second and thank our emo elders, our top tier Patreon supporters, the Council of Elders. In this group, we have Andre Prevost, we've got Johnny Leftwich, Jason Carey, Chris Lukey, Anonymous, and I'm just now seeing JW Johnson upgraded from emo kid to emo elder. Welcome to the Council of Elders, my friend. Thank you all for supporting the show, everyone in our Patreon, and of course, everyone who listens. If you'd like to check out our Patreon, you can find it at patreon.com/reminiscent. We just uploaded a 42-minute live video AMA. We were out by the fire, got some mood lighting. It was a lot of fun. It's like a whole bonus episode every month with the AMAs. We have post shows, behind the scenes photos and videos, and early access to the episodes, and some insights into new projects that we haven't announced on the show yet. Again, you can check it out at patreon.com/reminiscent. But either way, we are just so grateful that you're a listener of the show. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to our Patreon supporters, and back to the funky bassline draft. Okay, so I feel like the jury is out on what instrument is being played. I kind of think A Place for My Head by Linkin Park. I think it's a bass. I looked at live and it's on a guitar, but it's like totally different timbre.
Dum dum.
If the jury's out on what the instrument actually is this a safe pick? Because while it's from the decade, it might just be the wrong fucking instrument, which would be so on par for most of my drafts, just picking something completely wrong.
Yeah, you get one that's wrong, and I think it's a guitar riff. It sounds pretty bassy though. I could see why there'd be confusion, but then like when the rest of the instruments come in, you're like, can hear the bass, so it's kind of like, okay, I guess that wasn't the bass.
Man, okay. It might be a bass though. I don't know.
What about Feel Good Inc?
Yeah, give me Feel Good Inc.
Oh.
So okay, again, it's interesting to me that all of these songs are like very early memories of me as a musician. Played this on your bass. Everyone would leave their instruments at my house because I was the drummer, so we all came there. And in 8th grade band class, what was his name? Steven? He played upright bass, the long, straight blonde hair. Josh Learn.
Yeah, Sam's brother.
He let me play his stand-up bass, and I could play Feel Good Inc. on a fretless stand-up bass, and I was always super proud of that. And the song's really good. People, my windmill tattoo, like someone in this room with me always tries to tell me it's a Gorillaz tattoo.
It looks so much like of all the Gorillaz songs, Feel Good Inc. would be the one we'd cover.
Yeah.
For the way it sounds, even though the band isn't really
a
band we'd cover. And if you watch the video, which of course every one of us probably has, if you're listening to the show, it's a very good chance. If you ever see Tom's bare left arm, you will bear witness to what looks exactly. But it is a little windmill. It's a Blink reference, but it looks a lot like
it's on a floating landmass.
It's on a floating landmass. Yeah, what the hell do you want me to say, man?
I know.
And it's like it's a bad thing. Feel Good Inc. is an awesome song.
Right.
It could have gone first in our baseline draft from the 2000s. Maybe it should have.
Maybe. Yeah, it's
lining them up like ass crack.
Super simple, but it's like it carries the whole song. I think it's just unrelenting the whole time.
Could have been picked first.
Is this wait, is that my 3 and 4?
Yeah, I think so. So we're on to the final countdown here. I get my 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll
freaking
fuck around and find out. Well then, okay.
Have we mentioned that we're in the same room yet? We're together.
There's a few episodes that are going to air over the next
few months.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any specific order, but yeah, for this particular, in this moment, it's weird to do a draft in person because I can't just like blindly talk shit to you over like because we don't video chat when we normally record.
Right,
so.
We can't see each other.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Actually, I'm getting used to being in the same room though. We've done it a handful of times now, but we did 200 episodes having never looked into each other's eyes.
We threw away 40 minutes of audio, and it's not like unearth it. It's awful. Like we would have used it, honestly. Trust me, because we were on a time crunch. Right. Okay, I'm gonna pick a bad one and a great one. You ready?
Yeah.
And bad one, I mean like it's barely a song that's known for its bass, but Story So Far by Newfound Glory. It's my favorite song of theirs.
Oh, doom doom doom, right?
Doom 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 doom.
Yeah, just two notes.
Doom 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 doom.
Is that a bass line or just two notes?
I know. Her eyes will never be. Is the Story So Far named after that song? Like I have to assume they are.
I think so.
Yeah. All Time Low is after a Newfound Glory, man.
Yeah.
Power to the scene. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, barely a bass line. I don't know if a line needs at least 3 notes in it or something.
Tweet at the show.
But when you think about
how many notes does it
the
take?
very specific thing we cover on the show, dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
And then there's someone in your house. You know,
dude. Yeah, out of here with that.
I know. It got me every time playing Snoot. I'd be like, it's been quiet for a while. Is my playlist over? There's someone in their house. Anyway, I'll pick that, and then I'll do Seven Nation Army just because it's in play, and it's probably the most iconic. It's like Happy Birthday at this point. It's played at every stadium. It's just how it is. It's got to get picked.
How's it go again?
Dum 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 dum.
Oh yeah.
It's the bass line. It's the bass line.
It's our Smoke on the Water.
Could have and should have gone for it. Yeah, it's our Smoke. I think honestly, objectively, has surpassed Smoke on the Water.
Yeah, that song sucks.
Oh my god. So someone on Patreon recently asked, like, why do we hate the Strokes so much? And it's only because I don't know if we know them enough. I think it's just fear. We're just scared.
We hate ourselves.
Exactly.
No, they're not good.
Staying true to the bit. Love it. No, yeah. So I think, again, this feels like me defending the Beatles or something to Tom, but it's like Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. Great song. Oh, I love that song, bro. Anyway, just picking low-hanging fruit and storing it away on my mixtape draft here. But yeah, that's my 5th pick. I'm sticking to it. I feel pretty good about Seven Nation Army for 2000's bass lines. Also, badass lyrics. Such simple drums. I don't know. Everything's awesome. Like, you think about it, Pete Wentz and Mark Hoppus always like self-proclaiming, like maybe being self-conscious about not being technicians. Talk about Meg White on the drums, just like doom, 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 doom. Oh, it's like, you don't need it. It doesn't take much. Just, I'm seeing Tom text while I'm talking.
I'm not texting. No,
we
I'm
always
Googling
do this
something.
to each other, I'm sure, and we can't see it. But like, you can feel each other fading. But now I'm trying to feel because I can see he's doing something. But yeah, anyway, Meg White, maybe not a technician or anything, but she had soul, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, she brought like kind of like an extra, like a third heat to it. You know what I mean? Like she had heart. You know what I mean?
I wasn't texting.
Were they married or were they brother and sister or what? I don't even know, dude. It's like rock lore, bro. I don't think anybody knows. Jack White used to upholster furniture, dude. I heard he wrote like little poems on the wood inside. It's like, I wish I could have one of those chairs, you know? What if I had like a couch that he wrote in? Wouldn't that be like, be fucking wild? How would I know? What am I going to ruin my couch? I'm not going to move to Detroit for that. What a gamble. Oh my God. I don't know.
My abs are cramping. Oh my God.
Anyway, that was as long as I could go for your precious text. All right. Anyway.
It wasn't text.
I know. You have one. Yeah, I think you have one more.
One more.
Bring it home.
God. Are you gonna be my girl a bass line? Do 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 do. That's only 2 notes too.
Doom 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 doom.
Yeah. Well, yeah. God. Either. Yeah. You know what? No, that. I'm gonna say "Fences" by Paramore because "Endless Love" for Haley
Tell
Williams.
Tell them why.
It's not my favorite song on the album, but it is a stank ass bass line.
And have you ever had a bad time listening to it?
No.
You get deep into Riot. You're like, sorry, I'm stealing your thunder, but
no,
I agree is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, it's just nice to hear like these bands, I mean, Paramore wasn't the most like stereotypical pop punk band or anything, but like do something just totally wildly different and absolutely slaying it. And it was a nice little moment to hear just like, oh, this is totally different. The bass is popping off, and I'll take any moment I can to talk about Haley Williams.
Yeah.
So 2007 was
okay.
Woo!
Should we zip through?
Pour some water on me.
Pour some sugar on me. We got ourselves a stew, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's just end this. Let's get through the honorable mentions. For the love of God, save us from us. Okay. Jenny was a friend of mine, was on this list, and it didn't get picked. The opener, Too Hot Fuss. I knew you weren't going to take it. I thought I might need it, but then you left a couple good ones on the table, which is fine.
I'm still going to say a place for my head as a bass guitar.
Sure. Honestly, we were watching some live performances of that, and it's just like
straight up guitar.
Like, it's not like, oh, but you know, it was kind of a fun time. But it's like, no, Linkin Park was amazing. I want to see a pit 50 feet. If you don't want to be in it, get out of it now. That's what they were saying to me. I'm like doing a bit for, or like I'm doing a routine for Tom because he's the only other person that just watched that with me like a few minutes ago. Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet? Count it. Mutt by Blink. Count it. More props to Mark on that one.
Running from Lions, All Time Low. Little Funky, playing some scales.
Yeah, getting
it.
Yeah, some props.
Yeah.
To All Time Low. Hey, look, we like All Time Low.
Guys, we love All Time Low.
We don't
but
like
also
All Time
they're
Low.
kind of the worst band. No,
look, no, that's the thing is we do like them.
But like,
Sincerely Me, Newfound Glory could have been picked easily.
That's on every list as well.
Yeah.
Rufio shreds. Not that I was like listening to too much Rufio, but that one album was really good. The song Still. I think he's up on that 4th string.
Yeah, baby. Which bass has 4. Might as well use them. Sorry. Danny California's on the list. Whatever.
Sure.
Carousel by Blink would have been a pick of mine if the 90s were in play. I think that was the first one I tried to learn. Only in Dreams, Weezer, and When I Come Around, we wanted to mention those. I wanted to mention those.
Out of the timeline though.
Bass stuff.
All right, songs of the week.
This was a goofy one. Getting funky on the bass drop. This was really the most deranged episode we've done in a very long time, and I'm here for it.
Oh, what's the guy's name?
Fred Armisen.
30 Seconds to Mars.
No, I'm just kidding. Jared Leto.
Fred Armisen. Okay, song of the week. I am really going. You know what? By the time this comes out, Taylor Swift's re-recording of Love Story will be out. So I'm going to go with Love Story, Taylor's version.
Tell the people that you already pre-ordered it.
I was like doing so good about saving money, and then Taylor Swift was like, "Want to spend $70 on a vinyl? Yes, please."
Yeah, it happened. I was here to witness it. It's kind of like Lenny and the Simpsons, like, don't tell people how I live, or tell everyone. Record a show about it and put it out in public. Give me My Limb, track 2 off of the new Haley Williams project, Flowers for Vases. I don't know if it's the best song on the record, but sorry for talking out loud. Flowers. Although, to be honest, though, like flowers and vases are getting capped, so really maybe it's just the inflection was right there. Flowers for vases. My Limb, track 2. It's the most interesting sounding when you first listen. I don't know if it's the best yet, so I'm going to explore that a little more. But no longer Petals for Armor. We're moving right on through the journey of a plant. I don't know, but I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued.
Wait, is it really called Flowers for Vases?
Yeah.
I thought you were f***ing with me.
No, track 2, My Limb, she dropped that new project recently.
What?
Yeah. There's new Haley stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's stuff to explore.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh boy. Let's just end it. Let's get out of here.
Hit us up on Twitter @_reminiscentfm. I know there's so many f***ing songs that we missed.
On to the post show where you can flame us for not picking your favorite bass line.
Love you all. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Love you, man.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I know we missed so much, but it was so hard trying to figure out what's a bass line, what's just a cool bass part, what's a bass solo, how do we think about all of this. But please hit us up on Twitter @_reminiscentfm. Berate us for the songs that we missed and let us know what would be in your mixtape draft. You can check out the playlist on Apple Music and Spotify in our show notes, reminiscentpodcast.com/episode/211. We'll talk to you all next week. Stay safe, everyone. We love you. Bye.